Hello, everybody, and welcome to Double Play CLE. Paul here alongside Jay. It's been a rough week in the sports world. We lost two big names, Cleveland Browns Hall of Fame legend Jim Brown and legendary wrestler, superstar Billy Graham. Thoughts on either of these tough losses to the sports community?
Not a whole lot you can say. Just, condolences to their close friends and family. And really, that's about it. It's not a whole lot you can say. You can reminisce about, their old, I guess it's two totally different, like sports entertainment. So their reels or their old replays, I guess, is a good way to put it for both. So that's about all you can do.
Was
Unfortunately,
doing
that is part of life. If anyone's ever watched The Lion King, tough movie. Just like
Watched it
this week.
47 times in a row.
Just like this week. Tough and tough.
I found some interesting facts about Jim Brown. First and foremost of all, he was the running back of the most recent Cleveland Browns NFL championship team in 1964. Had only one complete season, where he did not rush for 1,000 yards. That was in 1962, and he rushed for 992 yards. It was also the only time in his career that he did not lead the league in rushing yards. To
Nah, they
say
should have just
he
given him.
to say he was great is kind of an understatement. I mean, whether you love or hate the Browns, there is no disputing that Jim Brown is one of the most important football players of all time, as he was named to the NFL 100 team a couple years back. But we would be remiss not to talk about his off the field. He was a tremendous civil rights activist and supported Muhammad Ali when he refused to fight in Vietnam. So, and this isn't to gloss over anything that Jim Brown did, because if you have gone through the history and you look at what he's done, one of the patterns that also follows him is a history of domestic abuse and violence. And none of us here are going to condone that. But it is worth pointing out that other than serving a 6-month jail sentence in 2002 for refusing to attend counseling, Mr. Brown was never convicted of any of it. I guess this is one of those cases where your heroes can also be tragic figures. And whether you love or hate Jim Brown, this is a tough loss for the sports community. Um, One interesting fact that I found that absolutely, but I this is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Jim Brown was actually one of the first UFC commentators when that organization started and called their first 6 events. I did not know that. I don't know that too many people do, other than those that follow MMA religiously. But what a weird way to bring Jim Brown into the MMA world by
No,
having
you
him
know what?
call
I think
UFC.
I think I did actually know that. You're gonna talk about like the original
The
martial arts
original,
tournament.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
The
from
one that
1993 to
what
1996, the very
that
first Ultimate Fighting Championships.
like the one that Hoist Gracie won.
I believe so.
Yeah. If that's yeah, then I think I know that. I've actually watched that before. It's very interesting to watch. Um, because little fun fact about that tournament is it was basically a barbaric, no holds barred tournament. There wasn't there was very few guidelines, very few rules. Anyone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not swearing on a Bible here, but if I remember correctly, it was a ultimate fighting championship. It's exactly what it was. You incapacitated your opponent. Incapacitated means to just like knock out, right? Not take their head off. That'd be decapitated.
Yeah, that would be murder.
To in just like unconscious, right? I'm saying that, right?
Yeah, dropping them to the point where they are no longer able to answer the referee's 10 count, I guess, in most
Yeah, I'm
instances.
I'm pretty sure that was just however you got there was how you got there was the rules back then. So it's funny because you'll see like there was I'm trying to think. I don't know if this was in that or in Pride. There's a good couple of different things, but there was one guy who was just humongous. He was like 7 foot tall, like 300 pounds. He had a good advantage up until I think it might have been who he fought in the championship. I don't know. I don't remember. Now I'm gonna have to go watch it after this.
That gives you something to do. I also mentioned the passing of WWE Hall of Famer superstar Billy Graham. Billy Graham was the person who ended Bruno Sammartino's second reign, which was 1,237 days as the WWF champion. Graham was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2004, was known for being flashy, flamboyant, and charismatic as hell. Most of the wrestlers that you love today were either influenced or directly stole from the superstar. Hulk Hogan himself has said numerous times that he just wanted to be Dusty Rhodes and Billy Graham. And he did a pretty damn good job of that. As for Graham, he has had a very contentious relationship with WWE over many different things, but specifically with its chairman and CEO, Vince McMahon, basically feeling like he was never treated fairly, which you could argue based on the money and the fact that Vince McMahon built his company on the blood, sweat, tears, and bodies of his wrestlers is very accurate. So yeah, that tough way to go through this week. It's been a rough week. Everything has just been kind of down.
Yeah, well, that's again not a whole lot you can say.
Well,
Yep.
we would like to shift gears to the Cleveland Guardians here, but my God, they did not make this easy for us. Swept by the New York Mets this weekend in Flushing, with Francisco Lindor getting a game-winning hit and James Karinchak giving up yet another game, while Justin Verlander rose from the dead, the Detroit Tigers pitcher of the past coming back to haunt the Cleveland Guardians again on Sunday on national TV on ESPN, made us look like absolute damn fools.
D, what was the score of the second game?
I think it was only 2-1. It wasn't that bad, but he went 8 innings.
I know Jose had 2 home runs today, if I'm not mistaken. I heard that in the chat earlier. I would assume they would know what they're talking about.
You never know. Yeah,
Well,
2-1
they're one of
final.
our fellow podcasts. Of course we know. How dare you? We just had this whole thing about bringing each other up, and here comes this guy.
To be fair, both starters, Verlander and Shane Bieber, went
That's
8 innings,
that's
which
your
is
that's your cue to shout out the other podcast.
I'm not the only one who can do that. You can mention Guardians of the CLE.
I know, but I was scared I was going to mix up their name, to be honest.
That's
So I was
fair.
waiting for you. I was waiting for you to say it first, so I could piggyback onto it.
I should have seen that coming. Yes. Check out Guardians of the CLE. James and Mel are going to talk all about this weekend in the land for the Guardians. Man, it's tough to talk about the Guardians
Yeah,
because this has been such a depressing week, and everybody's calling for Tito's head because of freaking Bo Naylor. And I don't want Bo Naylor. I want to make that perfectly clear,
you know he's on.
right now.
You know he's on the team, right? He was there today.
He's getting sent back. He was the 27th man. He'll be going back to
Yeah,
Columbus. I don't want
and he
him.
was only there in case one of them, Gallagher, whoever, couldn't
He
make the
did
second
actually
game or
get
something like that.
he actually did get an at bat in game one and promptly flew out to end the game.
Who did?
Naylor, Bo Naylor, the
Oh,
guy that
really?
everybody is claiming as the savior catcher for Cleveland. Like,
Well,
it
good Lord,
boggles my
man,
mind.
you can't judge him off of one MLB
No,
at
I'm
bat.
not. I'm not. I haven't been. That's the problem. He's had time at the major league level. 0 for 8, 5 strikeouts last year. Fly out now, and everybody wants to talk about, oh, he was great in the World Baseball Classic. If you dig down deeper into those numbers, you're going to see a really alarming pattern here, which is the times that he was good were against non-competitive, non-major league pitchers. When he was facing major league pitchers, he whiffed a lot. That's the problem. He's not ready. And I'm not trying to
Well,
yell at
okay,
you, but like he's not
so
ready
if
for this.
he's
Keep him in
so if
AAA,
he
let him prepare a little bit better.
prepare for what? If you're telling me he can smack around AAA pitchers and World Baseball Classic tier pitchers, but not MLB pitchers, then it sounds like he needs to come up and he needs to either get used to that or then I guess he's not what we're looking for.
He's going to disappoint you guys, and that's the problem. And that's why I'm so sick of hearing Bo Naylor's name.
Well,
He is
there's there's
he's
there's
the
one thing I've
stereotypical
noticed that is
4A
a
hitter.
there's one thing I've noticed that's a common factor with a lot of baseball fans. And it seems to be it very much seems to be that people forget that the absolute Hall of Famers, the greatest of all time, the best of the best, hit the ball 1/3 of the time.
Even the greatest hitter of all time, which by all accounts is Ted Williams, batted 400, 406 if I'm not mistaken. So that's a 60% failure rate.
I mean that's insane. 406, that's like a video game number. Like
Yeah.
you like the yeah, like that. So I
And it's only been approached like once or twice realistically ever since I think Tony Gwynn got really close to it during the strike season of 1994. And somebody else flirted around with 400. I want to say in 2019, 2018, somewhere around in there. It doesn't happen because it is impossible to hit a baseball being thrown at you with the intent to get you out more than 3 out of 10 times. Like great hitters
so
struggle to
I think
250.
I think a lot of people, I would take a lot of 250 batters right now on my team.
I would take a lot of 250
Um,
batters at catcher right now.
shoot, dang it, Paul, you made me lose my train of thought.
Woo,
What was I saying?
woo,
Oh,
boom.
just that. So you're giving me you gave me what 9 at bats?
Yeah,
You said he went.
I get it, but he's not the answer, and I need people to
No,
get
no, no,
on
no.
to
I
this
understand that,
understanding.
but I also mean that for people like Ahmed Rosario. Do you know off the top of your head what his batting average is?
Oh
Just
Jesus,
ballpark,
I can
just
find it real
ballpark.
quickly. I can find it real quickly. No big deal.
Because I'm assuming it's going to be like 200, maybe under, maybe like 210, maybe 220.
So Rosario is batting 252,
252.
one home
He's
run, 20 runs scored, 9 RBI, 7 stolen bases. The problem is
that
his on,
sounds
except that he's not getting on base. His on base percentage is only 284. That means that if he gets a hit, he gets on base. He doesn't do anything else to get on base. And that's a problem, especially in a time like now where you have guys that are actively trying to work the count and get walks. It means that, yes, he might be swinging and getting a hit every now and then, but he's probably only going 1 or 2 pitches into an at bat before something happens. And that's not good, especially with these pitchers that are on restrictive pitch counts. You need to work their pitch counts up.
I don't know.
I would rather have every single batter on my team take a 3-2 count and fail than have one person take one swing and it's an all or nothing.
I mean that's
Because you're going to run into
that's apples to oranges though. Like
it's not though. If you can give me a competitive at bat, where you're
You're okay,
making that
but you're
pitcher
telling me
work.
you're
But if
talking
you
about
make
3-2. Like you're telling me that nobody can ever get fooled or get tricked. Like sure, if you could guarantee me every count was 3-2, I wouldn't swing until it got there. That's fine with me. But hello, what did you just say? You're dealing with someone across the mound who's obviously trying to get you out. They're trying to trick you, deceive you, lie to your face, your whole family. Like they're but I mean,
I'm not
seriously,
going to
like it's
strike
not
him
just
out, little Jan.
sure, that sounds great and all. That sounds great and all right until you're like, this one's a ball. And you're out. Oh well shit. Now I'm a shithead. Now I'm a bigger shithead because I struck out looking.
Look,
This
if you
this is
give
my this is kind of my exact point. Like there's so many numbers and stuff in baseball, and like who like I don't know who has great numbers. Like I don't think anyone in baseball right now, with the exception of Mr. Two-Way Shohei,
Shohei Ohtani,
Shohei, I always say his name wrong. That's why I just say Showtime. And that's
you
even
can't
because
get that wrong.
Even Mike Trout's not doing that great, right?
He's had his moments where he's definitely struggled. I know I had a chance to go to the Angels game last Sunday on Mother's Day, and
Oh, did you go? Nice.
yes, and
So that's it, right?
I got one more. Atlanta.
Oh, oh, that's right. Okay.
Yep. I might elaborate on that later. Um, but it was nice to see Ohtani getting fooled and striking out. He struck out twice in that game, which I believe was pitched by Tanner Bybee.
Yeah.
And then Mike Trout comes up with a potential game winner on the line, and everybody in the stadium is like, uh, crap. And you could feel it. So even though I might not be a Mike Trout guy, he has earned that credibility in that respect where everybody in the stadium went, ah, crap.
But
As soon
that's
as
not
he
what
was
I'm talking
announced.
about. That's see, that's the other part I'm talking about. Is I think there's a lot of numbers and stuff like that that I don't know. I just don't baseball has so many numbers that you could damn
Let,
near give me anyone and you could probably give me some number somewhere that he's great at and some number somewhere that he's bottom at.
okay,
Like
I can give you that with Trout because Trout's career numbers, he's career batting 302 with an on base of 413. That's double what Ahmed Rosario is doing on base, which means that he's working counts, that he's trying to get walks. He's trying to get hit by a pitch. He's trying to get on base.
he's also Mike Trout, and I'm sure he gets a lot more balls than Ahmed Rosario does. I mean,
Maybe.
like I have to spell that. I have to spell that out to you. I come on.
I'm just here with stats.
Don't spoon feed me your own argument just to hear it out loud.
I just want to note that there is somewhere right now somebody who's clipping that of you saying, "Don't spoon me."
I said spoon feed me.
You said, "Don't spoon me," and then
I
missed
said
it.
don't spoon feed me.
I hope that our pile driver crew is watching this and knows how to clip that because I would love that for the rest of my life as I don't know, maybe a go-to whenever you're annoying me.
Well, that's easy.
To bring that back a little bit further, Shohei Ohtani, career batting average 268 with an OBP on base percentage of 354, which is closer to Ahmed Rosario, except for one key problem with that argument. The dude pitches every 5 days. So he's
Yeah,
supposed
I
to
mean,
not be.
obviously, I'm not trying to compare Otani to Rosario. I
No,
just think, and I just think, what am I trying to say here? I'm not the biggest Rosario fan. I'm not. I like the guy.
not at
I
all.
think, I think he brings a lot of camaraderie to our team, which is something that if we have one thing, that's it. And sometimes I feel like that goes a long way. Um, but I feel like he's getting a lot of harsh treatment. And I don't know, for everyone that loves Tito so much, he keeps him in the 2-3 hole. And there's got to be a darn reason he's keeping him there. And I mean, like you just said, he's getting a hit. a quarter of the time, which really isn't that bad.
The problem that I see is this. A lot of people believe that Ahmed Rosario is holding up the the call up of Arias, Brennan, Rocchio, and Valera.
Oh, is Brendan not on the Guardians?
But he's been on the bench, and he could be in the starting lineup. Same thing with
Brendan hasn't been
Arias.
in our lineup. I thought he
He
has been.
he alternates in occasionally in
Yeah, and
like outfield.
every time he's in, he hits a home run.
Will Brennan could be a everyday starter. He's just not getting regular at bats. You could argue that he would be doing better, excuse me, if he was in AAA in Columbus, where he could get regular at bats. This is the problem that I'm having with all of this, and why I'm saying number one, James Karinchak has to go. This is it
I don't
for
know what
him.
Karinchak has to do with anything.
He is part of this product of losing that the Guardians seem to be stuck in. And we talked about this in the open of the season when he blew it against Seattle. And I told you then, get rid of him now before he becomes a bigger problem. And he is already there. The bullpen has been taxed to oblivion because you can't trust anybody else. The starters are not going to give you 7, 8, 9 innings like they used to. So you have to rely on your bullpen to go deep into these games, to win these games. And unfortunately, as much as I love Tito, and I'm going to tell you right now, I am a Tito supporter to the day I die. You can't win when Clase's not Clase, when Karinchak isn't even a decent reliever on the Marlins, let alone the Guardians. And when Trevor Stephan is basically just getting thrown out there to the Wolves. We need to figure out why a team that has built its history and its legacy on good pitchers is suddenly falling to pieces and their bullpen has gone completely rotten. Like, I'll go back to that Mother's Day game because Ase came in and damn near blew the game. He does not look like the same pitcher that he has been the last 2 years. I don't know if it's that his speed is down. I don't know if he's lost control, but I'll tell you, watching him pitch in real time, I thought I was watching Aroldis Chapman, and I mean that in every negative way possible. He didn't look like anybody who should be on the mound.
I don't remember. Didn't Naylor have a big hit in that game too?
Yes, he had a home run that landed a section away from me.
Oh,
Yeah, it was just to the right. It was kind of cool because I tracked it all the way off. Oh, look at that.
I said, oh, we listened to that game.
That
You
was
should
an
have told me you were
incredible.
there. I had you would have given me one of the hats. I like those hats.
I tried to get one of those hats. They were sold out. Like literally the only thing left were the dad straps. And I'm not wearing a dad strap anymore.
Um,
You can
as
order
far
them
as
on
pitching, as far
MLBshop.com.
as pitching goes, uh, you can't really. I don't think you can blame the bullpen too much because they have to go out there every single game, and they have to go out there every single game, either already being down by 4 or being up by a single run. And I don't know too many relief pitchers that have an ERA of like 1 or 2. So, I mean, point being that if we ever sent our bullpen out there with, a 3, 4, 5 run lead and they happen to give up 1 or 2 runs, you wouldn't be this pissed off because we'd still win the damn game. So as much as I hate to kind of pass the buck here, I'm passing the buck because we can't produce anything on offense. Our pitchers are they're on red energy every time they go out on the red too, for the love of God. I mean, how nerve-wracking is it to be? How nerve-wracking is it as a pitcher? You can never go out to that mound with a comfortable lead. You can never go out to that mound with there being What am I trying to say? I
You
don't know.
never have comfort on the mound is I think what you're
That's
getting
what
at.
you never have run support.
And I just want to look at this because the ERAs for the bullpen, Class A, 352, one win, four losses, 23 innings, has 15 saves, but he's also given up 14 runs, nine of them earned, 25 hits in 15 strikeouts. He doesn't sound like a closer. He sounds like a middle reliever. Karinchak, 5.03 ERA, also 1-4. In only 19 and two thirds, he's given up 13 hits, 11 runs, all earned, six of them home runs. Oh, and he's walked 13. You've talked about how, oh, he strikes people out. Yes, he has 28 strikeouts, and he has the most strikeouts in the bullpen. He also has the highest ERA in the bullpen. That's, I got to get rid of him. At least get him to Columbus. Do something because there's clearly something that has gone wrong with him. That when he
I
gets
don't.
hit, he gets torched.
Okay, and that's literally this dates right back to Tito.
No, it doesn't, and that's
Yes,
part of the
yes,
issue
it
here.
does. Because
Everybody
let me
wants to
ask
argue
you
that
something,
Tito's the
Paul.
guy.
Let me ask you something, Paul. If you have the bases loaded, yet you have only two runners on base, and you're only up by one or whatever the hell it was, and you have a fastball pitcher that gets strikeouts, what is the kind of a fastball pitcher, of a fastball strikeout pitcher? What is
If he
the
gets
con?
hit, it's going to go a long way.
So why are you going to put that reliever in that
I
spot?
agree with you, but that's where we have the issue and the argument because everybody seems to think that if Tito gets replaced, everything's going to magically improve. And I'm going to tell you right now what's going to happen to this team
I
if
am not
Tito goes
saying
away.
I don't think anyone's answer, at least anyone that I would respect answer, is to get rid of Tito.
There's
But
been a number of people, dude.
I like I said, anyone that I respect. But like you can't put it solely on the bullpen's head, let alone one of those pitchers. Because I'll key you in here, none of them have been great. Not one of them have been great. Not one of them. And that hurts to admit because I love Class A and I love Karinchak and I love Stefan. In fact, Morgan's been good. I love Morgan and he's been fine.
And actually, I can back that up. Eli Morgan, 2-0, 1.50 ERA, 18 innings, has given up 20 hits, seven runs, only three earned, two of them home runs, has struck out 18. He is a
See,
middle relief pitcher. That's
that's
good.
the why do we not use him? I don't think we use him enough.
Or
I listen, and I
or
don't know.
Trevor
I don't know.
Stephan as well. I'll give him his credit. 2-1 with a 1.45 ERA. He's got two saves in 18 and two thirds. He's given up four runs, three earned on 16 hits, walked six, struck out 21. I'm perfectly fine with those numbers.
I wouldn't have guessed that because every time I
I
watch
didn't
Stefan,
either.
he's giving shit up. But
It,
I don't know how baseball, like how the pitchers work or how you can talk to them or how they can change what they do. But Morgan sounds like someone that I would potentially be looking at as a starter or at least like like a long relief. Like okay, this dude's messing up early, third or fourth inning, put him in and he can go for 3, 4, 5 innings.
right now, I would put Clase on the injured list. I would send Karinchak down, and I would be perfectly content with De Los Santos and Eli Morgan as our closer setup combination.
I wouldn't use Eli just for one inning. I feel like he's always bad when we use him. Like I don't think his nerves are built for a closer. Now, De Los Santos, now again, I'm invested in Class A. Class A is arguably my favorite player on the team. And that's saying a lot. I have like three or four. Like I don't really. It's hard to say favorite because I really love the whole team. But like I'll just go back to my original statement. I'm really invested in Class A, so I'm really hoping he can. Maybe he just does need an assignment or something like that, and to figure something out for a little bit because I don't want to see him go. I want to see him get back to where he was, and I don't know how possible that is. So
I go back to
You
my
know,
original point, which was I think there's something structurally wrong with Emmanuel Clase. I think that's the problem. I think there's something that has either been pulled or he strained something and he's trying to gut it out. And this is not the time to do that. If you're hurt, get off the team, go get ice on it, go get it healed so that when we make that run in September, you're ready. Because right now, the AL Central is the worst division in baseball, bar none. When every team in the American League East is better than you, and the fifth place team would currently be leading our division if they were in our division. That tells me that this division is winnable, even if we screw up catastrophically. We have a chance, we have a window. Make sure everybody's healthy so that we can get to July and August and the dog days of summer and actually be competitive. Because right now, this team is not. This team is not capable. There is something structurally wrong with our pitching staff, and that could go back to Carl Willis, the pitching coach, who is arguably one of the best pitching coaches that there's been in the last 25 years. He's created a number of Cy Young Award winners, including right here in Cleveland. So it's not to say that he's the problem, but maybe we need to look into some of these issues. Because right now, if Tito does leave, and that is what a lot of people want, they want him to step down. This team is not capable of being 500. This team is the 2002 Cleveland Indians. A lot of potential, a lot of promise, and ultimately a complete flop. Because somebody like Tito is capable of seeing what's working and what's not and adjusting. He hasn't adjusted yet. And maybe that's because we're not at the end of May. That'll be a quarter of the season gone. Maybe he wants to give this time to see if it's going to work out. And you know what? Fair. Because you said it yourself. You can't judge Bo Naylor on 9 at bats. Well, you can't really judge a baseball team on a month of the season. So give me to the end of May. Let's see what happens on June 1st. If we're still running the same lineup out there and the same rotation and the same bullpen, then yes, there need to be some questions answered. But until then, stop trying to run the greatest manager of this era out of here on a freaking railroad cart. The reason why the Guardians have been successful for as long as we have been is because of Terry Francona. He's got a World Series. How many Cleveland Guardians have a World Series? The answer to that is 0. I'm
anyway,
off. I'm off my soapbox now.
the doctor's in.
Tristan McKenzie.
Yes,
This would have worked better if you were actually wearing a watch. You know that, right?
I am.
Oh my God. Tristan McKenzie actually pitched 3 innings, struck out 4 batters, gave up 2 hits, and walked 1 in only 52 pitches. Sounds good. And that is going to make things very interesting when McKenzie makes it back to Cleveland.
They said June 1st.
You going to be there
When
for
that,
his June 1st start?
maybe.
No, you won't. They'll be off on the road.
They said it was like another week or so, and then they were going to work them into the 5-day rotation.
What are you hoping for from Tristan McKenzie? Because this is another player that you have been heavily invested in. As a fan of Tristan McKenzie, what do you want to see?
Oh, I want to see him come back Cy Young. He's got plenty of the season left. I still think is there like a time frame on the award?
It tends to get a little bit muddy once you've missed 2 months of the season because there are those voters who want the totality of the season as your work. It's not impossible, but he basically have to be
I want to see him
absolutely
coming
dominant.
back throwing. I want to see his heat faster.
By the way, June 1st would be against Minnesota in Minnesota, part of a 4-game road trip to the Twin Cities.
I
Boston
don't
will
know if
be
they
in
said
town.
June 1st or the first week of June. But it was one of those two sentences. I heard it the other day somewhere.
It looks like his first home start will be either against Boston or Houston, which is a tough way to start your return to Progressive Field.
I'll have to find out what day he's starting. I would like to go to that actually now that you mention it. I'll have to look into that. I'll have to find that out.
Well, I'm sure our friends at the Guardians of the CLE will definitely keep us posted on that as well. Check them out here as part of the Believe Land Media family.
I need him in like a double digit strikeout game return.
You have to imagine he'll be on a pitch count limit of like 90 pitches.
Yeah, he can get there.
But it takes a
I
minimum
need
of
I
three.
need I need him to just like I need if there's something that could like really like pump heart and revitalization back into the Guardians' bloodstream, it would be Tristan McKenzie to come out and pitch like he literally never left.
I can't argue that point. If Tristan comes out like Tristan, that's gonna scare the hell out of the American League Central.
And that's what I'm saying. Even if he's still even if he's on pitch count or whatever, as long as he does what I mean, if you say 90, that's Tristan's not a deep pitcher anyway. That's arguably a little high for him.
Well, if they had him go 52 pitches in 3 innings in Columbus, I can't imagine they're going to go too much further, but 90 would be
Also,
about the limit.
52 and 3 isn't the
Not great.
greatest.
Not great. That means he was almost
Um,
doing about, what, 15 an inning, which
but
means
I
he
mean,
was going for strikeouts.
we'll see. Hoping for the best.
So I guess when we get down to it with the Guardians, as I mentioned before, are they actually good? Do you think that this Guardians team is capable? Or do you think we're just over projecting? Remember, there were several individuals here at Believe Land Media who picked the Guardians to go to the World Series this year. That doesn't seem very likely with this current setup. Are they good?
I don't know. Not right now. They're not. That's for sure. So I mean, it's I think any team, any professional team, has the ability to be good. Um, I think, with the exception of some of the new people that I may not know their personality as much, Zunino, um, Arias, he's playing a lot nowadays. I see him out there a lot. Um, oh, I lost my light.
Can I point out something that is I got laughed at for that I think
What's
is
that?
just kind of funny? I told people that the Detroit Tigers were going to be a team to watch. I told everybody they weren't going to finish higher than second, but I told people Detroit is going to be a surprise. You know who's currently ahead of Cleveland?
Well, yeah, by one game
Half a game,
from
but
today. Yeah.
currently the Detroit Tigers are second place, 3.5 games back of the first place Minnesota Twins. The White Sox that everybody was so scared of are currently sitting 7.5 games back at 18 and 29. And that's not to pat myself on the back, but it's not hard to see a team that has heart versus a team that is being pushed too hard to an extreme. And I feel like maybe that's the problem with the Guardians, is that we expected too much from a team that overperformed last season.
No, and that's exactly what I was driving at, is that I think, our whole team is very hungry. Um, that's what I was going to say, with the exception of the new people. I don't necessarily know them that well yet. From Quan, Straw, Ramirez, Rosario. The whole team wants it, which I think goes a long way. So, like you said, I think we just do some adjustments. I'm not counting us out yet. I said the same thing you said. I'll always say it. I'm not ashamed to say it. I don't care, especially coming from a low market team. I just make it in. I don't care how we win. I don't care if we go under 500 and make it into the playoffs, because once you get there, it doesn't matter what your record is. So, I think there's plenty of time for us to still figure some stuff out. We can make some trades. Um, I think we're missing. I think we need to go after. There's this really great catcher. Oh, who's he play for? Um, the Pirates. Oh, what's his
Jacob
name?
Stallings?
Hedges?
Oh my God. You're
I can't remember.
actually
I can't remember his
advocating
first name.
you're actually
It's
advocating
it's
for
close.
Austin
It's
Hedges.
close to mine, dude. I don't know a single, and I on anything. I don't know a single Guardians fan. I don't know not one Guardians fan. Not one Guardians fan that does not want Austin Hedges back right now.
Austin Hedges is batting $1.67 with an
I
on-base
don't give
percentage
a
of
fudge
250.
what he's batting. I don't give a literal damn what he's batting, Paul. I don't give a damn if he was O. If he was .000.
Pretty freaking close.
Okay. And what are our catchers' averages?
Damn you.
Yeah, because there's no way they're that much better. Zunino did he hit a home run the other day, or am I confusing that with my game?
Zanino is batting a buck 65 with an on-base percentage of 276. He has 2 home runs this season and 7 RBI.
Okay, so that's exactly my point. So you're telling me I could have the exact same batting average in exchange for not every freaking dropped ball or passed ball or wild pitch? Dude, how many runs has the dude given up this freaking not even just if you want to include stolen bases, oh my gosh, don't even I
He
you
has
know
a
I
he has a negative zero point 0.9 win above replacement, meaning that he is below average for a his replacement would be better than him, significantly better.
what do you mean his replacement?
So the way wins above replacement works is that there's an average and you're either better than your replacement or worse than your replacement. He would be worse than somebody who could replace him on average.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he's the laughing stock of our team. Like I go on Twitter a lot, and I'll go to the Cleveland Guardians, and there's our fans, the people that are fans of the Cleveland Guardians, posted the one dude posted a screenshot of how he won money because he took Zanino first at bat, strikeout. That was for not the doubleheader today, yesterday's game.
Yeah, I saw that. It was actually trending on Twitter. So
That's
I have it here in front of me. He has
that's
two
that's not
two
that's not
he has Zunino has 2 errors this season and a fielding percentage of 990. He has 4 passed balls.
a fielding percentage of 990,
Yeah,
like 9.90.
no, 0.990, 990,
Okay.
which isn't great for a catcher, if we're being honest. It's actually his worst defensive fielding percentage in his entire career. 4 passed balls, which currently leads the league.
Define a passed ball for me.
A ball that he didn't catch, that he should have caught, that got away from him.
Resulting.
It just means that it got away from him. Usually, it's more of an effect when
So
there's a
that
runner
so
on
that has
base.
not so, that has nothing to. I'm sorry. What
It usually is taken into account when there's a runner on base because the runner will move up on the pass
will
ball.
advance? Okay, so
Yeah.
that's what I was arguing at earlier. Okay.
And 14 wild pitches.
14?
27 stolen bases allowed, with a caught stealing percentage of 16%.
Like they know. Like if you can run slightly and you're on first base against the Guardians, dude, second is all yours. They know it.
This has
And
literally been
you got
his
people.
well, this has literally been his worst defensive season of his entire 11 season career. And I warned
And
everybody
okay,
when this happened that he was not going to be what he was. I
so
didn't want
okay,
Zanino. I did not want Zanino at all. Let me be clear about that.
so okay, so I got two arguments there. One, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and we'll wonder if it's Rosario's fault. Who plays second base?
Andres Jimenez.
Jimenez. I say it's
Mm-hmm.
either Jimenez or Rosario, one of the two. Um, is it his fault? Does he not catch the ball half the time? Does he have bad reaction? I highly doubt it's Jimenez's fault. Highly doubt it's Jimenez's fault. Could be. But we'll give him one or two, which is still. So let's say he has a stolen base caught percentage of 25%. That's still trash. And then on top of it, he's batting like shit. Like on top of all that, you're batting like shit. That he doesn't have a 350 or a 300 or 10 home runs. On top of it all, you strike out all the time.
I mean, let's just go for the jugular here. His career batting average is 199. That is not
That's
acceptable at
terrible.
any position. His career on base percentage is lower than his current on base percentage, which is just mind boggling.
So my second point would be, so why don't we have Bo Naylor and give him a shot? If he
But
is this bad, and this is our starter. Gallagher's our backup, right?
yes,
This is our starting catcher.
yes, this is our starting catcher.
And he's that bad. My question is, can Bo Naylor be that much worse?
Do you really want to find out? Because if he is, you guys are going to turn on him faster than anything you've ever seen in your life.
Then it is what it is. If he is that bad, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I can't magically make him better. But
Plus,
what if he is though?
I think a lot of the problem is you're paying Mike Zunino $6 million for this season. So you want to get your money's worth out of him. Because
So trade him.
he was one of the big signings.
How much did they pay Austin Hedges?
Lord.
No, I mean, you don't got to look up the exact.
I'm genuinely curious why you keep fixating on Austin Hedges, though.
Because he was a big part of our fucking core. I did not.
You hated him.
I definitely grew to like him at the end of the season.
$5 million. So he was $1 million cheaper.
Oh, you're lying to me right now. I don't want to hear that. What? Why didn't we re-sign him?
He actually has a career batting average lower than Zunino at 188, with an on-base percentage that is also lower at 247.
If I'm being honest, I think I just as of the last couple years, starting to watch baseball very heavily, was spoiled by the likes of Roberto Perez and Austin Hedges. And now I'm seeing a very mediocre catcher. And I am like, holy shit, I cannot deal with this. Like, I don't care. Roberto Perez, talk about spoiled. Roberto Perez, that guy is a god. And I didn't realize it until I'm dealing with the likes of Zunino, which then you deal with Hedges. And I think that's why Hedges pissed a lot of people off in Cleveland because, again, they were used to the likes of Roberto Perez, who could do it all, which was fantastic. Austin Hedges can't hit that well, but
that's saying that's kind of being very generous with that definition.
I see. You know what I've noticed though that I will say they're both alike in is I don't think Hedges probably doesn't. I don't know if he has any home runs or not, but They're almost like a Joey Gallo. Like when they hit, they have pretty damn good hits. They just never hit. Hedges doesn't have a whole lot of power. I know Zunino's got at least a little bit of power behind him.
Well, we thought he did.
I will say, with all that being said, it seems that Hedges can throw the ball faster. I think what really hurts about Hedges is I think he meant a lot more to the team than just his position.
I agree with you. And I think that
So
I think that's part of the problem is that this rotation and this pitching staff isn't as in sync with Zunino as they were with Hedges, which is
if
weird
you were to
to
give me,
say.
if you were to give me three captains last year, it would have been Shane Bieber, Jose Ramirez, and Austin Hedges, in my opinion.
No, I can't argue that. I'm
So
actually
then, so then, like to basically see one of our captains go sucks, and then our other one pretty much on the verge of either needs to turn the clocks back into being a Cy Young, or I don't know what they're going to do with him. I don't want to see Shane Bieber go, but I feel like he's going to start getting talked about. So we'll see.
already happening. A lot of us, myself included, are trying to get Shane Bieber out of here. Look,
Well, you
he's got
always
the
just
most
want to
value.
get rid of our best players for
He's
some
got the
reason.
most value, and we need a bat. We need a big bat that we can only get through a trade.
Who are we going to get? Juan Soto? Showtime?
I don't want Juan Soto. He can't hit the broadside of a barn anymore.
Fernando Tatis?
Tatis can't stop injuring himself and has this ungodly ability to piss off everybody on his team.
Okay, so I guess we'll have to get Vladdy.
We're not getting Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just because you like him.
And then he'll have to play catcher.
My God.
Why don't we just go get Carlos Santana back?
Do you know where he's playing?
Seattle.
Pittsburgh.
Since the offseason?
That's his. He's at first base, batting 242 with an on base of 333, 22
He's batting
walks,
232? God
242.
damn.
20,
242? I'd take him. I would always take. I don't know why he does. I don't. How much what's his contract? It's going to be like 2 million. I don't know what the veteran minimum is.
6.75 million is what he's making through this year. He'll be a free agent next year.
Really good for him because as much as I love Carlos, I feel like he doesn't have a whole lot of value. I mean, he's old too, especially in baseball years, I should say.
Uh, 12 years of service time as of right now, so he's definitely on the peak or coming down the slope of his career.
Maybe we could get him at the deadline. That'd be dope.
As of right now, I don't think that's a great option.
Is he not their catcher? Is he just their designated hitter?
First baseman, but yeah, also designated
Oh, you
hitter.
said that first base. Yeah, sorry. Doesn't he catch? Can he catch?
Not anymore. He hasn't really caught since his days in Cleveland. He's a lot like a Victor Martinez, where it was becoming clear that the catching position was taking its toll on him physically. So you put him at first base to extend his career as much as you can.
We should just go after Salvador Perez.
Kansas City's never going to trade in the division. Ever. And not their captain. Can you imagine what that would look like? That'd be like if we traded Shane Bieber.
Well, yeah, whatever. We traded Benintendi to the Yankees.
That's outside of their division.
Yeah, but no one likes the Yankees.
They like their money. They like
Whatever.
their prospects.
They didn't get money for him.
They got prospects.
Whatever.
Prospects are gold in baseball.
What you got? What's next?
Well, I know you have been following the NBA playoffs almost religiously. Is that a cookie?
Yeah. It's my McDonald's cookies, and they're all cold.
They're still delicious.
Die.
Oh my God. So, Denver, one win from sweeping LeBron James and the Lakers. Kevin Love now one win from sweeping the Boston Celtics. How did we get to a point where Denver, Miami is the most likely NBA finals?
You know, Kevin Love has went to the finals every time he's gone to the playoffs.
It's unbelievable. It's almost like if you are going to be a playoff contender, you should go get Kevin Love.
He only played 5 minutes tonight, though.
I would have loved to have had
He
those
played.
five
He
minutes in
played
Cleveland.
5 minutes. He played 5 minutes and got 5 points and 2 rebounds.
I'd have loved to have had that instead of look what we had in round one.
That's insane. Yeah. Listen, I have been anybody at work hearing this. I've been saying this shit for weeks, and everybody's got to grovel up to me now because I'm effing right. And if anybody in my life knows how terrible it is for me to be right, it's Paul. You don't want me to be right. I'm always right as it is. So what you want to not do is just argue that. And
The
I've been
fact
telling
that you
people,
just said I'm always right as it is should be a warning to our viewers and listeners of where this conversation is about to go.
no, I told everyone when we got rid of Kevin Love, everyone thought it was like a great idea. First of all, um, I'm talking about the Cavs. I know I'm wearing my Butler jersey, and I was wearing this before they won tonight. Anyone who decides to watch this, I had this on not all day. I put it on when I got home from the camper, but before the game started because I already had it on. Kevin Love got traded. We bought out his contract there, however it went, and then he went to the Heat because he wanted some playing time, and the Heat were going to offer him playing time. We weren't playing him at all, and a lot of people had mixed emotions about it because Kevin Love was the last player left from the 2016 championship team.
Yeah.
B, with that being said, a very beloved Cleveland sports figure.
Does he get his before you continue, does he get his jersey retired? Does it get hung up in the zero up in the rafters?
I don't think they've said so yet, but I'm sure they will.
Okay.
I mean, his career's not over yet either. I'm sure he'll come back to Cleveland, to be honest.
He okay.
Maybe. Hold on. So 3. God bless it, Paul. Now I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, I was just going to ask if he wins the NBA Finals, wouldn't this be the perfect way to go out on top? Because
I thought the same thing, and I think he's only on for a year too.
And he did actually start for Miami Sunday night in those 5 minutes, 2 for 3 with a 3-pointer.
Yeah, I think he got hurt.
And 2 rebounds.
Yeah, I think he got hurt. That's what I'm a little concerned about.
Yeah, he did have an ankle injury.
And that's what everyone's biggest argument is. He's a little fragile. He gets hurt a lot. And that's why a lot of people, anyone watching this, saying that they hate Kevin Love and they're from Cleveland, don't necessarily like Kevin Love. Because when he was supposed to be the main workload, he got hurt a lot. He kind of let us down, this, that, and the other thing. But I, however, still hold Love. Just like I'm also probably the people that don't like Kevin Love are the people that don't like LeBron James. I love LeBron James.
I love Kevin Love.
I want to see him win another
much
ring.
care for LeBron.
But it doesn't seem like he's going to now. Definitely seems like it's going to be Denver versus Miami. No team has ever came back from an 0-3 deficit in the playoffs. So more than likely we got Denver versus Miami.
So if he's healthy, he'll get another shot at another ring with Miami. We know how Cleveland feels about the Miami Heat.
Or LeBron will just break another unbelievable NBA record and come back from 0-3. I mean, leave it to LeBron. I would love to watch him do that. Just another thing, but I don't see it.
Well, did you see the script leaked? And apparently he's supposed to score the game-winning bucket and in game 6 or something like that. Game 7, I can't remember what the script said.
Yeah, but it said Lakers were supposed to win in 6, and they can't.
Yeah.
So
Well, they had to change it because the script leaked, so they had to make sure that it was a little bit more solid, you know. Can't have the script leak and then
it's all fake anyway.
we're kidding, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
100% though. If Bam can slow down Joker, even just slightly, the Heat are going to win the championship in 5-6 easily, if not sweep them.
As much as I love Kevin Love and as much as I'd love to see him get another championship, I can't bet against Denver here. They seem like an unstoppable force. They're just running through everybody.
Paul, name me 3 players on Denver. And
Okay,
don't you be looking at your computer screen.
First off, I can't do that, and I'm not going to even try. But when you have one of the greats of the game and arguably
Who?
the presumptive Joker, he is the guy.
I'm just making sure you know who you're talking about here.
He is the presumptive MVP every year until he stops playing.
He should have been a 3-peat MVP. They robbed him of that shit. They robbed him of that shit. And where's Joel Embiid? Sitting on his damn couch.
On the bench.
Ain't no
you
way.
Almost,
they
you
robbed
almost wonder
him of that.
You almost wonder if Embiid was a pity MVP.
I wouldn't say pity, but for some reason the league doesn't they don't like to give that. Someone did it one time and they've never did it since then, because LeBron should have had it literally 5 years in a row. But the one year he didn't get it was Derrick Rose, which was completely fair. It's completely fair. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's what it was. Because it was LeBron was 9, 10, Rose was 11, then LeBron was 12, 13, if I'm not mistaken. Then it was KD, Curry, something like that.
Larry Bird is the most recent player to win 3 straight MVP awards.
Yeah, and that just goes to show.
He, Wilt Chamberlain, and Bill Russell are the only players to ever do that.
Yeah. So, and again, I'm a LeBron lover here, saying that I honestly think that Derrick Rose did deserve that 2011 one. But Joker should have been a 3-peat. It's kind of disgusting that they didn't give it to him. Joel Embiid did a lot, but if you look at that team, Joker is literally that whole team, and that is most valuable player.
Yes.
Jokic is literally that whole entire team. So you're talking triple double every fucking night. So
see, that's the same argument I have.
I think he got robbed.
That's the same argument I have with Shohei Ohtani versus Aaron Judge last season for the baseball MVP. You're telling me
you're talking
Ohtani,
about
but Ohtani is the most valuable player. Joker is the most valuable player. They are the guys that if you take them out of the lineup, the team crumbles beneath its own weight. You take Judge out of New York, New York's still going to make it to the postseason. They're freaking New York. And I think maybe the voters on these awards need to be smartened up a bit. That we don't want them to dive into every goddamn statistic that's on the planet to determine this. Look at and tell me what's going on.
But you can't be taking his pitching into account.
You have to. He's the only
person
who's done
that's
it.
That's what the Cy Young Awards are for.
The MVP is an award for pitchers and hitters.
So that means
he does both. So he should always win the MVP.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So he literally gets.
I don't have an argument against that. Yes.
Oh, that's just bogus.
It's already hard enough to pitch.
So all these,
but then to go out there and
hit guys. All these other guys playing this fucking game are literally never going to have a chance at this trophy just because this guy plays both positions. And I'm not telling you, I'm not disagreeing with the fact that that's absolutely insane, Paul. I'm not. But I mean, it's just so then just give him his own MVP. Here's the Shohei MVP, and then we'll give out the regular MVP to everybody else. You can't. It's just I get what you're saying, and you're not
circle back
wrong.
To NBA. But here's the thing. The last person to do what Ohtani did, which is 100 homers, 500 strikeouts, in a career. The last person to do that was Babe Ruth. If you are putting yourself next to Babe Ruth in any statistical category, you are probably one of the greats of all time. I've
I
seen
just
Ohtani
I
with my
think
own two
I think
eyes.
it's apples
He
to
is he
oranges.
is legit. And I think he should look. I'm not saying, oh, he goes out there and he has a 3.5 ERA and he's 10 and 14 and he's giving up a home run every game. Oh, no, he's the MVP. No, I'm saying if he's still an elite pitcher, which he is, and he's an elite hitter, which he is, you can't argue that. You want somebody who can do one of those two things, and he does both of them.
When's the last time a pitcher got an MVP?
I'm glad you asked that because it's Justin Verlander,
Ugh.
and he got the pitching triple crown when he did it.
Okay.
It's a very
I
rare
feel like
occurrence.
I feel like the MVP is not a pitching award. And
That was
I feel like it shouldn't be a pitching award. You already have a pitching specific award.
that's been an argument. That was an argument back when Verlander won the award. It doesn't say
Listen,
most valuable hitter. It says most valuable player.
if Verlander, I would not argue that. You get the triple crown, then yeah. I don't disagree with him being most valuable player. It's just like I said, I don't think you're wrong, but you're putting
I know it's an
baseball in a
apples to.
very
I know it's an apples to oranges thing, and
it's a
we're
tough
going to get back to
position.
NBA. It's extremely tough, but you're also a lot of people are forgetting we have a hitters award, the Silver Slugger.
Yeah,
And
but no one gives a shit about those. That's the
I'm
problem.
sure the guys who get a bonus because they got the damn award matter.
I know, but I'm just saying.
That's an
I'm
extra
just saying.
$500,000 in my pocket. Hot damn!
Nobody cares about sixth man of the year. Nobody cares about most improved. Nobody cares about rookie of the year. They
No,
don't.
that's not true.
They care about MVP. They don't.
People
Not
care
to
about
what?
Rookie of the Year.
Are you being funny?
No, people care about Rookie of the Year.
No, they don't.
100% they care about Rookie of the Year.
Are you being funny?
No, that is a legit. I've had this discussion with a number of people. The Rookie of the Year award is the first award that a player is going to get that could springboard them to greater heights. You definitely want to be the rookie.
The Julio Rodriguez cares about the Rookie of the Year award. And if that's all you get, you're never going to be remembered. So I repeat, nobody cares about the Rookie of the Year award.
Do you care about the Rookie of the Year award? Sound off in the comments.
Again, I'm not trying to take away people's accomplishments because I've never won Rookie. I've never won Rookie of the Year. I've never won Sixth Man of the Year. No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
You've never won Rookie of the Year at work?
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. There's really like three things people care about. It's championships, MVPs, and like points, touchdowns, goals. That's what people care about. That's it. At the end, home runs. At the end of the day, that's what people care about. I mean, if you're a great, there's your Aaron Judge argument. There's literally that's why Aaron Judge wins the award and not Ohtani. And fuck Aaron Judge. God, I hate that dude. But that's why he wins the award and not Ohtani.
And ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to our segment that you know and love right here on Double Play CLE called
Fuck the Yankees.
Thank you.
So
it was a short segment this week.
And it came during basketball talk.
I know. It was coming, though. It had to happen. At some point, we're going to get this segment sponsored.
Anyway, it's again, not to take away people's accomplishments. Not at all. That is not because I don't have any of those accomplishments. So that is not by what I mean. But I do think, and you can't disagree with me on this, that you go out there and you win. You could. I'm just saying I don't think you will. You go out there and you win Rookie of the Year, and that's all you ever win. You're not really going to be. I mean, you're not really going to be remembered that much. So anyway, going back to the basketball aspect of it all, um, because I saw because I think Joker should have got the three-peat. Heat to win the championship. I'm gonna buy me a new Kevin Love jersey. I'm thinking of going with Los Heat, although I don't know if he actually wore that one. I don't think they did play a couple of regular season games. I have to go back and look to find out when the last time they wore their Los Heat jerseys were. I would love that actually. Or I'll get one of their all red ones. I already got one of these ones, and then I got the other, like the inverted one for Wade.
Closet Miami fan.
Not a Miami fan, but I'm definitely when it comes to basketball, I'm a player fan. Big fan of Jimmy Butler. Obviously, I got love for Kevin Love. So if Kevin Love's going to get cut by us and go somewhere else, I'm all for him winning another championship.
So
Then
I
he
guess
can
that
be like,
brings
I'm
me,
better than LeBron. I did it without LeBron.
well, I guess that brings me to the question I was going to ask, which is Cavs fans are still watching the postseason, I would hope. Who are you pulling for? Are you pulling for the Lakers or are you pulling for the Heat?
I was pulling for the Lakers. If the Lakers and the Heat are going to the championship, I want the Lakers to win. I think LeBron is the best basketball player of all time, and anything that can solidify that argument better for me, I'm all for.
I feel like
However,
on our debut episode, we had that discussion.
however, it sure as shit doesn't look like they're going to win this series. So I was already, like I said, big fan of the Heat anyway. So I'm all in on the Heat. I was rooting for my Cavs. Once they got booted, then I was all in on the Heat or the Lakers. I mean, and it looks like the Lakers are on their way out. So I'm definitely all in on the Heat. I like the Nuggets. So I wouldn't mind them winning a championship. I think Jimmy Butler deserves it. I'm not that, anyone on the Nuggets doesn't or whatever have you, but again, big love for Kevin Love. I like Kyle Lowry too. He's another one of my guys that I like. He's coming off the bench for them right now. So, um, fun fact about them, they're the seventh seed. They won the play-in tournament. So what, 2-3 years ago, they wouldn't even be in the playoffs.
No?
Um,
Yeah?
and they're in this deep of a run, and they don't have their second highest scorer, Tyler Hero. He's been out the entire playoffs. Or Victor Oladipo, which is arguably their only other person who people even know, other than Bam. Bam's great. So other than Jimmy and Bam, that team consists of 11 free agents and like 3 undrafted players or something like that. So I mean, that's just I think speaks a lot to Jimmy Butler, and I think another reason why I would love the Heat to win this is because I think it'll really I don't want to say solidify because I think you have a lot more work to do than just one championship, but I mean it'll definitely give a start to like the legacy of Jimmy Butler. If he can take this team and win, that's insane.
It
That's absolutely
almost
insane.
it almost sounds like the 2007 Cavs,
Yeah,
where
no,
LeBron
no
took
joke.
a ragtag bag of misfits to the
And
NBA
Z
Finals.
and Z
And
was his
Z.
best guy. Like that's Bam. Bam's their center, and he's just a tall dude. He can shoot decently well, and he gets a lot of rebounds.
Man, I miss rebounds. I wish the Cavs knew how to do that.
Yeah, you're telling me. And not to mention anything, but they smoked the Celtics today. The biggest deficit in Celtics history.
No, I was watching it as we were getting ready for the to record this, and Henry and I, my
Yeah,
brother, was watching it, and he's just like, "I'm just sitting here watching them get beaten to a pulp." And
yeah.
I looked at
Miami
the
had their
scoreboard like,
number
"Damn."
every corner. Every time I looked up, they were stealing the ball. They were blocking a shot. They were absolutely dominating them. The only reason it was 28 and not 40 points is because their third string played the last half of the fourth quarter.
It was weird. It was like Boston wasn't even there. It didn't look like the same team.
Well, Miami is a very difficult place to play in, especially the Heat. Miami is a very difficult place to play in. I was texting my buddy Tyler. I'm like, I bet you they can't. You can't hear the person right next to you. I guarantee it.
That's, I mean, that's what you want. That's the home court advantage. That's what these teams ask for. Hell of a place to get that. So we talked about Jim Brown passing earlier at the start of the show. Do you want to talk for just a moment about the Cleveland Browns schedule because it was released last week? Obviously, we were off last week, so we didn't get a chance to talk about it. What are you most excited for this schedule? And also, hats off to the Cleveland Browns social media team for an awesome schedule reveal. As a wrestling fan and as a wrestling announcer, that was just joy. That was fun to watch. Awesome.
I don't know. What are you most excited for?
I don't like the week 5 bye. That's I hate early bye
Isn't that the
weeks.
same week as the Steelers? They have
Don't
either week 5 or week 6.
think they have week 6. I never liked early bye week. If you're going to give me a bye week, give it to me later in the season
Oh, that's
so that
ugly.
it can actually give the players a chance to recover and rest. Uh, Only 2 primetime games for the Browns this season. Week 2 Monday Night Football at Pittsburgh, and potentially week 17 hosting the New York Jets. I say potentially because there is a schedule alignment on the table where that game could be flexed out of Thursday Night Football and probably will be.
I don't know. They might put the Jets on prime time. You got to think the Jets are something to watch that people are going to want to watch now.
Against
We
the
don't matter.
Browns?
We don't matter at all. I'm not worried about us.
Against the
Yeah, yeah. If it's something that they can showcase,
Okay, but
and
what if
Aaron Rodgers
Rodgers is
wants to
out
put
there
up
and he's like not
4 or
the
5
same Aaron
touchdowns,
Rodgers? But what if he's not? That's been the argument that Green Bay's had. He's not the same
well then they
guy.
well then they will flex them. Then you're right. I'm not saying that they won't. I'm just saying that
Also have a Christmas Eve game against the Houston Texans in Houston. Another chance for Deshaun Watson to return to Houston right around the holidays. I
what a
really hope
dick.
he doesn't get a massage. Also worth noting, three of the three of the first 4 games of the season for the Browns are against the AFC North. That is tough. It's going to set the stage for basically the entire season because if you can't get past Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore heading into your bye week, that's going to be rough.
Yeah, we're in for a rough season.
It does seem like this is I don't want to say that they're a 500 team because I don't believe that, but I think that's about their peak. They're just not. It's this division is
You're
so
crazy if you
tough.
think we're gonna go 500. We're gonna
I'm
win
saying
like 4 games, dude.
I'm saying it's the peak. I'm saying it's the peak. I'm saying that you've got Nick Chubb, Miles Garrett. Those 2 guys alone give me some hope. And you have to
These
imagine
people
now Nick
really.
Chubb is going to be running for his life, trying to show off that he is the greatest running back in Cleveland Browns history in honor of Jim Brown. There's going to be a 32 at midfielder somewhere on the field. That's a good way to honor someone's legacy by showing that what you did is superhuman. I'm
Go
personally trying to
Panthers.
get, oh my God, I'm trying to get to the week 3 game against Tennessee, Sunday, September 24th.
I'm sorry, go Florida Panthers.
Oh my God. You want to talk about hockey? Do you really want to talk about hockey?
Did the Golden Knights win?
I genuinely do not know. Let me find out for you. I did not
I don't
expect
like
you to want to talk about hockey.
I don't like
And
either one of
yes,
those teams, so I don't care.
yes, they did. They won 3-2 in overtime. Vegas leads the series 2-0 against the Dallas Stars.
I'd almost rather Dallas go than Las Vegas, though. Have they won yet? They haven't won yet, right?
Dallas?
No, Las Vegas.
No, they're an expansion team. We've only had them
I
for like
know they
maybe
just
five
came in.
years.
I know. That's I'm saying they haven't won yet, right? They've been good ever since they came into the league, though.
They had one season where they were good, then they trended down, picked it back up, and now they're on the back half of
Oh,
whatever the hell
okay.
this thing was. It's weird. Vegas is kind of streaky, and when they're really, really good, they're really, really good. When they're really, really bad, they're really, really bad. Um,
Sounds
I
just like
did,
Vegas.
I did, you know, I did not expect Florida to do what they're doing, and I don't think anybody in the NHL really did. They are
What's the series right now?
2-0 on Carolina, and the Panthers are just beating every potential favorite each round of the playoffs. This is uncanny. Like they beat Boston, who they should have been mowed down by Boston. The Bruins
Not to
should
mention
the Bruins should have handed them their ass and it should have been over right then and there. Then they get the Leafs and they just embarrass the Leafs, which isn't hard because the Leafs have been doing that for about 25, 30 years now to themselves. And now you've got the Hurricanes. And I have to imagine the Hurricanes looked at the Florida Panthers and went, "Oh, we got a chance." And now they're staring at a two-game deficit heading into Florida.
I would say they're going to Florida now. By the way, what city is that in Florida?
I think it's Sunrise, Florida. It's not that close to Miami, damn it.
Yes, it is. They're in Miami, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they're in Fort Lauderdale, actually,
No,
or
because
around that area.
someone made the thing the other day about how the Panthers and the Heat are both low seeds but going crazy in the playoffs. So Miami's been jumping. Hey Siri.
You're going to ask Siri. Okay, it's in the
No.
Miami metropolitan area.
Yeah, see? That they're in Miami. Look at you. Look at me teaching you about hockey.
Well, they don't play in the same arena.
No, they don't, but are you sure? Actually, I didn't even think about that. I forgot
It's
that's
yeah,
how
it's
hockey
it's in
works.
Sunrise, Florida, is the name of the city.
Okay, that's
It's
like saying
it's in the Miami area. It would be like if
that's like saying they play in Parma Heights. Like or they play in Lorraine or something like that. Like they still play in Cleveland, damn it.
and here come the Parma Heights Browns.
The Parma Heights Pipes.
Jesus God.
Anyway, Miami's jumping right now.
Yeah, I should have remembered that because they play at the FLA Live Arena, which just played host to AEW Dynamite in Sunrise, Florida. Over here trying to embarrass me on hockey.
First of all, you were supposed to I was alley-ooping you. You're the one that dropped the pass. I had to pick it back up, get my own rebound, and dunk it.
Oh, I thought this was like a Braylon Edwards thing where I just let it slip right through. Like, oh, I got
Oh
it.
well,
No, I don't got it. Well, we were talking about the Browns. I figured I'd pull out an
Braylon
old Brown.
Edwards.
But I'm gonna go old school with that. Well, before we get out of here, this weekend, a lot of wrestling to be had. WWE will be in Saudi Arabia to crown a new World Heavyweight Champion at the Night of Champions event. Seth Rollins, AJ Styles. Really don't care who wins this because the first World Heavyweight Champion is going to be fantastic. Who's your pick for this match?
Who is it? Seth Rollins and who?
AJ Styles.
Oh, it'll be Seth Rollins.
Fun fact, Seth Rollins going to be involved in his third tournament to crown a brand new champion. He was involved and won the NXT Championship tournament. Of course, we remember the Universal Championship match with Finn Balor at SummerSlam 2016, and now the World Heavyweight Championship in Saudi Arabia. Also on that night, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns will team up with Solo Sikoa to challenge for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship, currently held by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. What are you doing?
I'm trying to stretch my back out a little bit.
As I was saying,
I have terrible posture. Look, I'm like,
well, as I was saying, Roman Reigns, you were rising up like you were some sort of, oh, let me honor the tribal chief bullshit. Thank God you're not Mike. As much as I love Mike and I love the Pile Driver crew, he has this obsession with Roman Reigns, and I can't stand watching his matches. So I'll probably just highlights on that one. But I'm happy for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. There's a chance that they main event that show. If you'd said that a year ago, everybody would have said you were crazy.
they're all gonna laugh at you.
Pretty much. Also, Brock Lesnar will go one-on-one with the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. This is a rematch from Backlash in Puerto Rico that Cody won with a back roll, essentially. He was locked in the Kimura lock and essentially rolled Brock Lesnar onto his back, got the 3 count, and got the hell out of Dodge. I don't want to ask your prediction because you're just going to pick Brock Lesnar, and I can't take that in my soul. Is there a chance that this thing goes a third match and happens in Detroit
Are there no
at SummerSlam?
stipulations?
There are no stipulations. It's technically billed as a fight, according to
No,
Brock Lesnar.
not match stipulations, like future stipulations.
Nothing there.
Why are they fighting?
Well, Brock did cost Cody Rhodes a chance in the World Heavyweight Championship tournament in the first round matchup, which was a triple threat match. Pulled him out of the ring.
It's got to be Brock then, because Brock has to win, and then.
Or you could have Cody go over the Beast twice in a row, cement his name, then find his way back to Roman, and finally finish the story.
Is that how they apologize to Cody?
Maybe.
We're gonna make you lose at WrestleMania, but you can beat Brock Lesnar 2 times in a row.
I mean, there aren't too many people who have defeated
I was
Brock
just gonna
Lesnar
say, I don't know.
twice in a row.
I don't know if that's. I don't even know if that's. Is there any? The only one who ever it probably could be would be Roman.
It's Roman.
Has he actually done it?
Yeah, WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Yeah, because I don't even think Taker did that.
No, he retired.
Well, so Brock and Taker had a rivalry when Brock was young in 2003 that culminated in Hell in a Cell.
Damn it.
Did your light go out?
Yeah, my thing came unplugged.
Oh, look at that. You glow now. It's going to be interesting to see where that whole thing goes. Also, as a fan of women's wrestling and somebody who's wanted women's wrestling to reach this height, I'm very excited that there are currently 2 huge women's matches. Bianca Belair defending her Raw Women's Championship against Asuka in a WrestleMania rematch. And Trish Stratus, the WWE Hall of Famer, goes one-on-one with the man, Becky Lynch. Both of those matches are going to be absolute bangers. But as if that wasn't enough on Saturday, Sunday is a doubleheader of wrestling action. You've got NXT Battleground featuring the main event. Carmelo Hayes defends the NXT Championship against the man he defeated WrestleMania weekend, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker has been showing a more villainous side to himself, plans to embarrass Carmelo Hayes in front of his family and friends in his hometown of Boston. Should be a hell of a match. Also, the finals to crown a new NXT Women's Champion. Don't know who's going to be in that just yet because that will be decided this Tuesday on NXT in two semifinal matches. But also on Sunday, AEW has Double or Nothing in Las Vegas. Huge show for them, featuring the main event, a fatal four-way Pillars World Championship matchup, MJF defending against Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. They're called the Pillars of the company. This is their chance to shine in the main event of Double or Nothing. And there's just so much on this card. Like Adam Cole returns to face Chris Jericho in an unsanctioned match. When did you ever think we would say the phrase Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho ever? They've never crossed paths. And of course, Anarchy in the Arena, the Elite versus the Blackpool Combat Club. If you remember last year's Anarchy in the Arena match, it went literally everywhere in the arena and was kind of crazy. On top of all of that, this Saturday night, live at Kim Tam Park at Melanie Springs, I will have the pleasure of joining Drew the Werewolf Starner as Ohio Championship Wrestling presents its biggest show of the year, celebrating 20 years of OCW with tradition. And we have a brass ring gauntlet match, as well as the OCW Heavyweight Championship on the line. The Guiding Light Matthew Taylor against his former protege, Lord Thomas the Brute. Matthew Taylor has not been pinned or submitted in 3 years. So that's going to be very interesting to see if he can survive the Brute this time. Also, a fatal four-way tag team championship matchup. Our 1 year reigning champions, DD Trash, defend against the longest reigning tag team champions in company history, Warhorse, the team of Gino DiCapo and Asher Knox, and the winners, No Shame Jimmy Shane and the show Robbie Starr. There is a lot going on this card. Check out ocwrestling.net or OC Wrestling Online on social media to find out more. It is going to be a great night, and I've been told that there will be surprises. I don't know what that means, but the only way to know is to be there, and then we will be broadcasting. We're going to do a live to tape kind of situation like we normally do. So if you can't, for whatever reason, be at Kim Tam Park at Melanie Springs, check out BelieveLandMediaLLC.com and our social media to find out when that event will be broadcast. Well, I got through all of that. That was kind of impressive. Do you have anything that you would like to add?
Nope, I think we got it all.
I feel like Excalibur running through the match card, and you're over here like, take a break there, buddy. All right. So in 1 week's time, Memorial Day weekend. Obviously, a lot going on. My question to you, what will be the big story 1 week from today?
You always ask these questions. Like, I don't know.
I ask questions. That's what I do.
Yeah, but that's like, I don't know. How am I supposed to know what the big story is going to be a week from now?
Like based on the events that are currently transpiring, will the Heat have finished off Boston? Will Denver have
Yeah, they
finished
play
off the
in 2 more
Lakers?
days.
Will there be some sort of announcement about CM Punk returning to professional wrestling again? Stuff like that.
I sure hope not.
Hey now. CM Punk is great. An AEW Collision is going to be fun. Well, everybody, I think that about wraps things up for tonight. I'm Paul. He's Jay. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching Double Play CLE.